There we go. There we go. That's better. Magic Monday live. Oh, I've had sound challenges this morning. Sound challenges. Nobody wants sound challenges. And yet I've had them. So we're going to get cracking. And fingers crossed you'll be able to hear me and see me. Let's go for it. Here we are. It's Magic Monday Live, which means I can press this button.
It's the start of the week. Grab your coffee cups. It's Magic Monday Live.
Magic Monday Live with me, Michael Heppel, and today, I said it in a bit of a Geordie way there, didn't I? Michael Heppel. Me, Michael Heppel. And today I'm going to be talking about the most important muscle you will ever train. So I have had the privilege and the pleasure over the last few years of working with many extraordinary individuals. And one of the people who I respect and admire the most is a brilliant lady called Sara Cox. So she's a Radio 2 DJ, she's a TV presenter, she's an author, she's an incredible person. And if you don't know, she has taken on a challenge to run 5 marathons in 5 days for children in need. And not only is she doing that, she's doing it in November in the north. And not only that, it's actually more, because I just found out on Saturday that the first day, just so they can fit it in with the schedule, is actually 30 miles. So she's starting off with 30 miles from Kielder. If you know Kielder, you might think it's flat. It is one of the most up and downy places you can imagine. And so obviously I've known Sara for many years now, and we've been in touch and I've helped her out with various things. But when she was given this challenge, I thought, I've got to reach out and say I'm here. And I said, I'm here to help. Anything that you need, let me know. And she came out and said straight away, Michael, you're on my team. I'll let you know when I need your help. And then I got a message end of last week saying, I am pressing the button now. Help. I need your help now. And so we did a call on Saturday, and it was fantastic. Now, normally if I do a coaching call with somebody, it's absolutely confidential. I won't even say that I've coached them or I've worked with them or whatever. But Sara put a fantastic message out on Instagram with a picture of me doing the coaching session with her and saying how she had the most incredible people in her corner and what a privilege it was to be working with Michael Heppel. So I'm not speaking out of turn by telling you that I'm coaching Sara on this particular project. And there's some other amazing people as well who she's got on board. So she's got Greg White. Those of you who don't know Greg White, he's kind of the go-to person for getting people physically ready for these crazy challenges that they do on the telly. So Comic Relief and Children in Need and stuff like that. He's the person who's going to get you absolutely ready. She's got an amazing lady called Helen Hall, who is very much a physiology person. She's kind of shown Sara how she can hold your shoulder in that particular way rather than that particular way. Then it's not going to have as much pressure on that knee and that type of thing. And I'm helping her with the mindset side of things. And it was really interesting because she said, I know that I'm going to be physically ready to do it. I just need to make sure that I'm going to be mentally ready to do it, because it's a huge task. It's a huge mental task to be able to do that. A lot of people, when they train to do one marathon, they train to do the London Marathon, and they're going to have, that's a big, big moment. If you then say, well, actually, after doing the London Marathon, you're now going to add an extra, 5 or 6 miles on your first day. And then after that, you're going to do another one the next day, and then another one the next day, then another one the next day, and then another one the next day. Meanwhile, you've got to be able to talk about what the project is, what it means. You're going to have surprise visitors. They don't let them know who the visitors are going to be. I was amazed by this. I thought, actually, you're bound to know who they are. They kind of ham it up a little bit. Oh, my goodness, such and such has joined me for this part of the run or whatever. No, she's got no idea who they're going to be. They're just going to be literally dropped on her. She has to do live broadcasts several times a day. They're also making a documentary at the same time about the whole project, and she's got a whole bunch of pre-work to do. She's doing visits. She's talking to people who benefited from children in need. There's a massive amount of stuff that's going on, and so we had a coaching session to help Sarah to be mentally ready for this huge race that she's it's not a race. She's not gonna, it's only her in it. She's going to win. There's no doubt about it. But that huge challenge that she has ahead of her for children in need. And I remember when I first coached Sarah many years ago, she's documented, she's very kindly in many interviews now said that she can track the exact moment when her career changed. She's had this amazing career, then it went really down and pretty flat, and then it went whoosh, absolutely a meteoric rise. And she said I can track the exact moment when that happened. And it was when I met Michael Heppel, which was, wow, quite an honor for somebody to say that. And excuse me, I'm just going to do a little cough. I picked up a cough. I'll be all right though. And I thought, there's a few things that I picked up on Saturday just talking to Sarah that maybe we could all benefit from. So the idea today is just to share a few ideas about how training this muscle is the most important one. Because, so I made my notes. I always like to make my notes. Somebody said to me the other day, why don't you publish your notes? I thought, it's such a good idea. I might just take all of my notes that I have. I'll need to do a little bit more than what I've got at the moment. It just says things like Greg White, Helen Hall, body will be ready. Coaching Sarah's story. Make it relatable. Okay, I'll make it relatable. So I want to make it relatable for everybody because we're not all running 5 marathons. Thank goodness we're not all running 5 marathons, but we are doing lots of stuff. So if you think about it, the ones I wrote down here, and I might be wrong, but I think that physical preparation is what makes you capable. Mental preparation is what makes you unstoppable. Does that make sense? I would hope so. Next thing I wrote down here, which I think is probably one of the keys, is that when you do physical preparation for something, it's quite visible. So Sarah was saying she can see herself getting stronger and fitter and leaner. But mental preparation is the progress that we're doing up here, and you can't always see it. So you don't always know as clearly if you're actually making progress. But it's that invisible progress that actually holds everything together. So it's worthwhile testing yourself every so often to see how well you're doing with your mental preparation for something. So for example, I coached somebody recently and helped them to put together a pitch. So they're raising a lot of money for a fantastic business idea, which I can't wait to tell you about when it actually gets launched. It's incredible. And I've helped her put together the pitch. And she said, all right, I've got this big event coming up in a few weeks. I said, well, do some smaller ones in between. She went, oh, I don't really want to. I said, I know you don't want to, but that's what I want you to do. So she did some smaller ones. And she said, those smaller incremental stages of the presentation and seeing it getting better and seeing herself getting better and becoming more confident. She said it was absolutely amazing. By the time she got the big one, absolutely ready. So it's worthwhile sometimes putting yourself out your comfort zone in incremental ways before the big thing, whether that's a presentation or whatever. And presentations are probably one of the best examples of where you have to be mentally ready. You can have the best script, you can have the best slides, you can have all that type of stuff, but if you're not mentally ready to stand up, then it really does shine through. Interviews. It's not what you know, it's what you believe. There's a slight difference, but it's true, isn't it? If you get people to practice doing interviews with you and getting yourself mentally prepared, if you've got a big job or a big position that you're going for coming up, and you get people to practice, it's the most uncomfortable thing to practice with family members, but that is the muscle being stretched. The real interview will never be as difficult as an interview with a family member. I promise you that. Parenting. You can read every book, but patience and perspective are the most important. I got that from somebody else, and I can't remember who it was, but I just did this little thing. I did a bit of search on my computer before, and it just had this parenting quote, and I thought it was brilliant. You can read every book, but patience and perspective. Oh wow, that's the trick. Customer service. A lot of times people don't mentally prepare for customer service. So they know what they should do, and then a challenge comes along and they go to pieces or they react in the wrong way. So it's so important that you mentally rehearse great customer service. What you got to say, how you got to say it. Role play sounds, it's such an awful thing, isn't it? Oh God, role play. I hate role play. Everybody hates role play. But if you do role play and if you do it properly, you put yourself in that uncomfortable place, you stretch that muscle up there. So when you come to do it in real life, it's much easier. Health goals, of course. Why do diets fail? It's because it's not up there. You try to do a diet from there rather than up there or down there, which is even worse. Relationships, probably one of the most important ones. How can you be fully present if your mind is still playing old stories of negativity? Old stories of positivity, great. Old stories of negativity, gotta work on that muscle and let them go. And there's loads of others. There must be loads of us. It'd be fantastic if you were to take a second just to share your thoughts as well, as always with these things. So on the when is it going to be? I think it's the basically it's I think it's the 10th of November. Maybe the 10th of November when Sarah's going to start. It's 4 weeks today. 4 weeks today, Sarah's going to be setting off on that incredible feat, those 5 marathons for children in need. Such a challenge. I'm going to keep you up to speed with how we're getting on. We've got several coaching sessions booked in. Hopefully, I'm going to be up there with her at the start as well, if we can work that out. And I want to see you. I want to see you mentally preparing for your marathon, whatever that might be. Who's here? Let's have a quick little look. Brilliant news. Andy Heps is here. That's my brother. He's mentally preparing for something. He's mentally preparing to be 60 on October the 25th. He's mentally preparing by having a party the week before on October the 18th. Yes! Can't wait for the party. That's going to be fun. And can't wait for to see everybody. And it's really brilliant because my brother and I were just a year and a bit apart. So a lot of his friends are my friends. And so it's going to be brilliant just to see everybody and have a real good catch up. So that's going to happen on Saturday night. What else is happening? Who else is here? Have a quick little look. We've got some comments over there. Dean Coulson's here. Yes, agreed. The small steps lead to the big things. Now, if I was trained to do 5 marathons, I would have Dean Coulson training me, because not only is he a brilliant physical trainer, he's the best mental trainer, and he links the whole things together. Absolutely amazing. He's Des Reynolds. Michael, I'm doing a couch to 5K, and that marries up exactly with the small increments at a time, all adding up collectively. Des, the couch to 5K is a brilliant thing. I did a one in last summer. I don't know if I told people about this. I signed up to do a 10K. I have no idea why I wanted to do a 10K. And after I did it, everyone was going, "Oh, do you want to do another one?" No, I didn't want to do another one. I didn't enjoy it at all. Angie Vale is here. Hi, Angie. Nice to see you. Sarah is fabulous. Yes, she is. And then we've also got Jackie is here. Jackie Lewis Thompson, Moore and Michael. Hello. And she says, great comments about mindset. So important. Thank you. Dean Coulson, I have a 50-mile. Here we go. I have a 50-mile ultra trail run next July in the Lake District. Little steps will be planned. Dean, keep us in touch about how that's going. All right. I'm sorry that my speakers aren't quite working today. I've had to use my screen speakers, so it sounds a little bit tinny, but it's been brilliant to see you. And I will see you this time next week for more Magic Monday Live.